Hello, Jody Mayberry again here with Lee Cockrell in Orlando, Florida. We're doing these fun little episodes kind of as an offshoot of the Creating Disney Magic podcast because there's so much neat stuff in Lee Cockrell's office that we wanted to talk about it. Last episode, we talked about the Main Street Diary and recognizing people, and that's a really good segue into what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about recognition. We talked last episode the pins and how they were used for recognition, but this time it takes a little twist. Tell us about what's in your hand there.
Well, I always talk about appreciation, recognition, encouragement being the fuel that drives human performance. It's free, costs you nothing. You can give it to your staff, people that deserve it. You can give it to your wife, your spouse, your friend, your partner, your children, strangers, and even the one I want to talk about now is a couple people decided to recognize me. And even though I was the executive vice president, sometimes people up in the higher levels of jobs don't get much appreciation, recognition, and encouragement. And I had a cast member who, this is the drawing of a car he painted for me for the Main Street Diary. He just loved it so much. He said, Lee, I wanted to do this for you. It made a difference in my life. I read the stories every week. It helped me improve my performance at work and at home. And so he made this drawing of what he was going to do. And then he painted the car. And it's really one of my treasures is the Main Street Diary car, Disney Difference, Lee's Main Street Message to Leaders, Do You Know? And then we had always a special section in the Main Street Diary, Advice from Mother. Every week we'd say, give you some advice how Mom would handle things. And we had extra special editions, and this is just a cool thing. And it just shows, I'll always treasure this. And I really appreciated it. So that was one way I got recognized, as well as all the recognition I did for others.
So we talked before about recognizing people that work for you, how it doesn't happen often and you should do it. This is quite a twist. This is somebody that recognized you as a supervisor. What do you have to say about that?
Well, I think we should all remember that. Thank the people we forget to thank, which is maybe your boss. He's doing a great job. You feel comfortable working for him. You trust him. He helps you. He has time for you. If you got a great boss out there or a leader, then think about how it might be as simple as just saying, I just want to take a minute to thank you for the great job you do. And this is not to butter you up, but I really love working here, and your exposure and your experience and how you're available for us and how you really focus on us is you tell them that, and they will appreciate it. I think sometimes we think, well, those guys don't need anything; they got everything. Well, that's not true. The thing we all want most is to be recognized and know that we matter in the world. And so, yeah, you can do that.
It reminds me a little bit of what you told your son and your grandkids about sitting in the front row. Let the teacher know they're doing a good job.
Absolutely. When my grandkids go to college, my son go to college, we had a rule: you have to graduate in 4 years. We don't do the 5, 6, 7 year program. It's very expensive. And I told them, if you go to class, sit in the front row, get to know the professor, tell him he's doing a good job occasionally, you will make better grades. That's how real life works. Relationships. If he doesn't know you, she doesn't know you, they can't help you. And don't sit up in the back with 500 students and sit in the front row. You'll graduate in 4 years.
Yes. Now let's turn to another bit of recognition. We've got a statue here on the desk. Walt and Mickey. Where did that statue come from?
Well, that was really a special one. I worked for Al Weiss, the president of Disney World, for 13 years. I worked with him from 93 to 06 when I retired, and we had a great relationship, got to know each other. We worked together longer than most people are married. And it got to where I could tell him just about anything I wanted to, and he would tell me anything he wanted to, because he could anyway. And one day he gave me this statue of Walt and Mickey, and he sent me this card. He says, Lee, you are a great partner with me. Your leadership really is making a difference at Walt Disney World. Keep up the good work. You really emulate the behaviors that the status stands for, that this statue stands for, Al. You know, here I still got this thing all these years later because, hey, I came home and showed it to Al, or to Priscilla, and I said, look what Al gave me. And then I went back to Al and said, could you give me one of these every 2 weeks? I'm really insecure. He said, no, but I said, would you initial and date it on the back? I want to know it's current. And Priscilla said, you know, that's just like me. If you love me, tell me. And Al, I don't know if he meant love here, but he appreciated me. So that's how that all started. And it was a good lesson for me, too, to remember. To let your boss know and let your staff know that you're doing a good job, and they'll probably do a better job.
Yeah, I was so pleased to actually see this letter in person because that letter has been mentioned. You've talked about that, which goes to show Lee talks. I don't know what year you received that, Lee, but you still talk about it. You still have it in your office. It shows how important it was to you.
Yeah, it was, and still is.
And you can do that for your staff, your employees. If Lee Cockrell, Executive Vice President of Disney World, kept a note from his boss of appreciation, you better believe people that work at your organization feel the same way.
Right. So go do it.